Hey, welcome back to Josh's Real Estate Jam, episode 17. And today we're going to talk about intelligent pricing. And so we go out on a lot of listing appointments and we talk with a lot of different sellers. Some sellers just say, where do you think we should be? And that's kind of what we go with. But there's some sellers that really fight back, and that's quite okay because they're looking at the market as well. There's a lot of information out there on the market. So let's just take a little bit of a scenario and we'll talk about the intelligent pricing triangle that we talk with every seller about. So obviously, I think for the majority of people, the most amount of money that you can get out of your asset, out of your house, is what you're looking for. Same thing for the realtor. And so what we want to do is we want to put you into the best position as possible to make sure that you're getting that out the very first time. So let's take $500,000. I know we've used that number quite a few times, but let's take that nice round number and let's look at that. Mr. Seller says, hey, the house down the street just sold for $500,000. Let's put the house on the market for $500,000 and let's get it sold. Well, there's a couple things that we need to look at right now is how did they get that $500,000? In this market right now, there's not a lot of comparable properties that we get to choose from. So we want to make sure that we're looking at all the aspects of how that house got to $500,000. So we're going to look back a little bit in time. We're going to look at the month and the timeline as to when they listed their property. And then what did they list their property for? Because most houses right now, especially in our area, are selling for approximately 107.2% of list price. So a lot of times those houses that close for $500,000, they're not listed for $500,000. So we want to go back, we want to look at that. Let's say, okay, these guys listed for $465,000, they had 13 offers and they ended up choosing one at $500,000. So we need to back up a little bit. We need to make sure that we're pricing the house right, because if we price for 500 and that's kind of the golden number, we're looking at in this triangle of pricing a house where there's probably 10% of the buyers or less are going to be looking at that particular price. But we want to bring it down so we get compile the list of buyers more around the 3 to 5% under what we think the market value is of the property, so that we can move up, so that we can get those multiple offers, so that we can keep you, the seller, in control the whole time through. And so I think it's really, really important that when you are looking to list your property, that you talk with your realtor, you guys both understand where each other's coming from, but then you look at the evidence as to how did the seller down the street, or how did the seller in the next neighborhood over, how did they get to that final list price? Because many times right now, what we're putting the house on the market for is not what it's actually selling for. But the big caveat that many people don't understand right now is if we list at that tip top, many times that house is either getting a price reduction or they're only getting one offer. One offer does not keep you, Mr. or Mrs. Seller, in control of the transaction. So make sure your realtor is presenting all of that evidence for you so that both sides understand exactly where we want to get to and what that goal is for you. If you got any questions, feel free to reach out. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you real soon.